Hello guys, it's been a while since I last uploaded a video on this YouTube channel. It's been tough days, I can't lie. As you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm really in a bad position, but I've reached it to a point where I don't care anymore and I just want my inner peace and not rush success because that gives me a lot of pressure. So I'm not going to go into the details. All I want to do is I want to journal this new MFFU evaluation that I just vouched and share with you the journal because I want to get back into YouTube posting more because it's more helpful for me, especially when I get feedback from you guys and get views. That helps me a lot to keep being productive. So let me show you guys the account. So this is a fresh 50K MFFU challenge. As you guys can see, I am down 600 bucks and I've traded for 2 days. First day was a break even, and today, which is Friday, I lost that amount of money, which is $600. As you guys can see in the stats, I need to make $3,000 and now I am down like 600 bucks. And I started this challenge at 25, now it's 26. We'll see how it's going to take me to pass it. And inshallah, I'm hoping that I can pass this challenge as well as possible. So let's jump into today's trade and show you guys the reason behind this trade and how I could have anticipated it better. So I know you guys can see me from the left side of the screen. So I'm going to delete all this. So bottom line, I'm doing a top-down analysis. Starting from the weekly, weekly is really simple. We have a close above this high and we created a weekly fair value. And the price have took the previous weekly high and now she's heading into this previous weekly low inside this weekly gap. So I know my bias. Going into the daily, one thing I didn't like, we see that we have a daily gap in holding. So I'm going to define this and I'm going to define the previous daily low and the previous daily high as well. And let's jump into the H4. So on the H4, I am a bit confused because we are inside a daily fair value gap, but if you look at this bearish structure, we keep respecting this bearish gap each time and we have one just right here. So that is a bit confusing. So what I did is I jumped into the M13. On the M13, I activated the ICT kill zones and I could see that the Asia low and London low was already taken, so there is no need to go back to them. And I can see at the top Asia high still not taken, which is the previous daily high, and we have London high still unmitigated as well. So let me label these two liquidities. So London high, so that's the London high right there, and this is the Asia high right there, top right. This has to be at the top right as well. So going into the day, I know we had liquidities above and we are trading inside this H4 fair value gap. So I was super confused. So this is an H4 gap and this is the previous daily low. You guys know it, okay? So when the market opened, we had an M15 gap that we held, okay, and we have an M15 gap below. So what I said to myself, if we inverted this gap, we're going strictly here. If not, we're gonna take some liquidity and then move down. So eventually, on this M15 gap, I was thinking that we're going to close and inverse the M15 gap and then go lower. But what ended up happening, we took orders from this M5 fair value gap and then we keep moving higher. And we have this gap that I actually defined and I was expecting some reaction from it. So the exact same thing happened on ES. Literally, ES was doing the exact same thing. We respected this bullish gap and we went for the London high. So this is a clear SMT. So this is a pretty much clear SMT that you guys can see with ES. So you can see it. So I jumped into the M1 looking for some possible entries because now I know the direction of the market. So the first position was once we inverted this gap, we had a big bullish candle and I couldn't execute it immediately. And we have this big gap. I waited for it to be filled. Once it got filled, we got this inverse. I didn't want to go into that inverse because we already touched it into this M5 gap. So we can consider this as a liquidation or inducement, and we might inverse this gap at that time. So that's why I missed this opportunity. And even if you took it from here, you could have had your GP right here, but eventually market didn't went all the way into that. So I was patient and not rushing the trade. One that I actually missed when we tap into this M5 for the second time, we had this inverse, but that was super quick. And don't tell me you catch this, guys. Don't tell me you did catch this. Because once the candle closed, it was right here at that moment. Then we're like 3 seconds left till the M1 candle closed. Boom, then created the other one, then boom, immediately. So this was missed, and I keep monitoring the market. And once we were right there, I said, okay, we have this gap that didn't get mitigated on both ES and NQ, and I saw this low got closed below. Then market retraced back into this supply zone because then we were super close into this M15 and there was no reason for market to rebalance into these gaps. So I knew market was heading down. So once I saw the market moved up, okay, I said, okay, I missed this position because I was hesitated if it's going to go into this or not. I waited for the second opportunity. The second opportunity was represented once we closed again below that. So once we closed below that low, I identified this supply and my setup was pretty much, it was easy. Market got me filled down at this candle because this candle closed below this low. So I set my limits here and I had my stop here for the take profit 1.5 and we can extend it lower based on the standard deviation. If we took it from low to bottom, I can simply take profit somewhere right there. So that was pretty clean. What happened? I hate when I say this again. I'm going to show you guys the execution so you guys can know what I'm doing. These are the execution. So I've shorted here and the market gave me profits. Let me delete this. Gave me a bit of profits. Moved up. What I did, I went into trade with H. I jumped into the 30-second candle. And on the 30-second candle, we had this bearish uh, M1 candle. It was having a gap inside it. So I said, okay, I'm going to move my stop into this protected high because there's no reason for the market to push past through that high. The market had this rejection. Once it had that rejection, I put my stop slightly below. And what market did, she moved up, she took this, and then she drove lower. It was a completely irrational decision, as I definitely could have let that stop loss at its initial place, and I could have actually do the sit and forget strategy. But this is a human mistake.